The session is about the economical slavery. The slavery that is the worst form of the slavery, even the worst form of slavery than the physical slavery. And no one is hopelessly enslaved than those who have falsely believe that they are free, and that is actually the illusion of free. And we remain in that illusion, we remain in that trap, and we remain in the matrix, in that matrix, which become stronger, which become deeper and deeper every moment. And now this economical slavery almost take more than 100 years, and it reached to a level that everyone is on the treadmill, everyone is in the rate race, and that rate race started from 6 a.m. and it remained till we go to bed. And if it remain in such a way, then we have to sacrifice most of our needs, most of our life, most of our energies, most of our precious time to compensate this slavery. So here the purpose of the session is to know about it, to do the critical thinking, how it's work, how we become free, how we come out of this trap, how we look for possibilities, and how we explore those information which lead us to on the other side. This is actually the crisis, and every crisis have a hidden opportunities. How to explore those opportunities, that is the real reason for this session, so that we do our critical thinking and we follow those paths which make these 1% richer and richer, and that 1% now have more than 40% of the entire global wealth, and the remaining 50% have only survive on less than $2. So there is a greater gap, and that gap increases every day, and that gap have the real reason of inequality, and that inequality grow every day. So we have to know the foundation, we have to understand how it's work, and how we make our path, and we run our unique way, and we follow a few, and that few give us the possibilities to not only survive but also to grow in this trap, and make a path that give us the real freedom, and we become in the state of a passive income. And that is the only thing that we understand the whole system. And the system is simply a triangle. That triangle have three ingredients. Number one is the government, and number two is the central banks, and the third one is the treasury. So central bank is actually play the role of middleman, or banking sector the play the role of the middleman. And when the government need for example $1 billion, they ask the central banks for $1 billion, and the central banks tell the government governments that ask for a bond that is equivalent to $1 billion. And when they give the $1 billion request, the central banks ask the treasury to print the notes and put the number on it, put the value on it, which is equivalent to the $1 billion. So when this exchange complete, the government get the $1 billion equivalent paper bonds that are the promissory note, with the promise that the government pay back it to the central banks, to the banking sector. And here, when new currency come into the existence, it steal the value from the existed one. And we have to understand it that this money is equivalent to the debt, and we remain in that debt, and that debt then shift to the citizens, and then the citizen remain on the treadmill. Then the citizen of that country, then the citizens of that area, they remain in the economic slavery. And here the purpose is again to shift toward the assets which have the intrinsic value, so that we understand the intrinsic value, and we work for the intrinsic value which also the god made money have, the gold, the silver. And that is the again the focus, or again the center of the gravity, that shift ourselves from the man made money to the god made money, so that we survive well, so that we remain on the side of opportunities, and so that we never lose the purchasing power, so that we remain safe from that loss. And again, here we have to understand that in this system money is equivalent to debt, as the government promise that they pay back not only their 1 billion, but also to pay back the interest on it, and the interest doesn't exist, as they print only $1 billion. So this debt ceiling increasing and increasing, and if the government pay back their loans, and if the citizen pay back their loans, their debt, no, this ceiling collapse under its weight. The reason behind this, that interest never exists. So understanding the system, we can separate our paths from the poor mindset, to go toward the mentality of the 1%, and become the not only the part of the 1%, but also make a position where we live with growth and prosperity, and we save ourselves from the harms of this system.